Boy, I'm doing all that talking with my mic on mute. I was doing all that talking all that time. So glad I had a good wife paying attention, because I was gone. May the Most High be praised from everlasting to everlasting, for He is King. He is our peace. He's our Savior. He's our all in all. And everything we are is because of Him. Everything we could ever aspire to be is because of Him. Everything that we end up being is because of us. Because we ain't putting enough effort into the blessings that He placed in our lives to be all that we can be. For so many of us, that's our journey, to be just what we are. And a lot of us don't want to be the very best we can be. But these classes that we have, these classes are designed to allow you to become the very best version of yourself, to give the Most High the highest praise, glory, honor, and respect that a man can give to its maker. So we're going to get started, y'all. We're going to get started. And what we do at this part of our day, is we acknowledge and we thank the Most High for whatever it is that we want to thank the Most High for. We give a commandment to the Creator for any of the commandments that He's given to us. We repeat that commandment, and then we give the explanation of the commandment so that we, the people of the Most High, can show what we understand about that law, sometimes the diversity in our understandings of the law, but yet that doesn't mean we can't still walk together. But before we get, y'all ready to get started? Because we let y'all go first. Y'all go first. Before we do the commandments, we got a treat. We got a treat for all of y'all. Bane Zante is about to blow with Selah and Nasir and Iman and Dawid. They're about to blow for us, family. They're about to blow. So go ahead, y'all can post your commandments while we're doing what we're doing. They get ready to sing their song. May the Most High be praised. Let me know when y'all ready to get started. They putting it together right now, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
What? What you gonna do?
I was saying, should we sing right here around Iman's mic?
Oh, you kidding? What do you mean? How you gonna be in the camera though?
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, and I'm gonna turn my camera around so to show all of y'all. Now this is our first ensemble.
That's right.
Our first Hebrew ensemble. Let me know when y'all ready, and I'll turn my camera around. Ready? Now, is everybody in the camera? Can y'all see? Is that good enough? No? Is that better?
Yes, that's good.
All right.
Good. Perfect. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Shabbat Shalom, family. First and foremost, we give our praise to the Most High. Thanking Him for another Shabbat day. And we wanted to share with you all a little bit of a song that we are working on here at Beulah Lane and Temple Keeper Arim. This song is called Yohe Wahe, Great I Am. And it is something that we are currently working on, but we just want to share with you all what the Most High has given us. Hurry.
You are the great I am. Yohe Wahe. One more time. Yohe Wahe. Elohim shel Abraham, Yohei I am who you say I am, Yohei Yireh, you are the great I am, Yohei Yireh. You created the moon and the stars, gave light to the earth and the sky. Then you entered into our hearts, you gave us the breath of life. All Yah's children say, all esteem to the King. All Yah's children say, all esteem to the King. Yohei Yireh, Elohim shel Abraham, Yohei I am who you say I am, Yohei Yireh, you are the great I am, Yohei Yireh. One more time. First time. Yohei Yireh, Elohim shel Abraham, Yohei I am who you say I am, Yohei Yireh, you are the great I am, Yohei Yireh.
Oh boy, whoa, whoa. Oh, wasn't that nice? May the Most High be praised. All right, that's what I'm talking about. They put their thing down. Dawid, was you up there?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. May the Most High be praised, and that's how we do it. Hebrew style. Yeah, cover yourself up, young lady. Now imagine when we got that thing fully assembled like it's supposed to be. Boy, that thing gonna be rocking. It's gonna make Hebrew famous. It's gonna make the famous Hebrew charts. Ain't that nice? That's a great song, though. It was really a nice song. And you wrote that song? May the Most High be praised. Yeah, that was them sounding like that. That was them sounding like that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. That's how we do it. It only gets better with time. Only gets better with time.
She can't do it first.
Huh?
She can't do it first.
No. She's too old. All right, here's a commandment. Sister Saadia, she says, patience is a virtue. Oh, wait a minute, sis. I'm sorry. Let me do your commandment first. Her commandment is Proverbs 8:34. Happy is the man that hearketh to me. Watch daily at my gate, waiting at the post of my door. That's a very good commandment. I like how she got creative and went outside of the ordinary and grabbed something different. It says, patience is a virtue. Meditation on how Elohim enables us to receive the instructions of the Most High. Watching at his gate is also reflective of staying in alignment to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. Very, very good. Well, keep on showing off, sis. Keep on showing off. I like that. All right, may the Most High be praised. Do we have any other commandments, family?
Yeah, so that's the number one, but read it first.
All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right. Who would like to give their commandments? We don't do that here. Put your feet down. Matter of fact, get back over there and sit down like you're supposed to be. What we're going to do, family, is everybody get a commandment. Everybody read their commandment from the scriptures. And if you're in the audience on the screen, just write down your commandment. And then remember, family, you can always come on the screen and say your commandment. That way, no one is messing up your words. And I'm going to post the link in the room. Anybody who wants to come on and say your commandment, the link is in the room. Just hit that link. You'll come up on the screen. If you want to be seen, you can be seen. If you don't want to be seen, you don't have to be seen, but your voice will be heard. So you don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. Because I know a lot of y'all just be sitting around the house chilling on the Shabbat and you ain't get all dialed up, but that's okay. That's okay. We don't worry about you. You ain't got to be dialed up for us. So here it is. If you would like to do your commandment, Bram, you can come on too, man. We just put the link in the room. If you want to come on and give your commandment verbally and physically so we can see you, then you're welcome to do that. If you just want to give your commandment verbally, then you can come on the screen and just don't turn on your camera and do it that way. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Chief. All right, so we ready, family? Yes. Let's rock and roll. How are we going to do this? Look, family, in the link is in the room. I put the link in the room. If you want to come on the screen and speak your part, you're welcome to do that. There's the link again. All right? May the Most High be praised. Yes, Ima.
Yeah. Do you want us to read from here, or you want her to come up here?
Oh, you can read from your. She going to do a commandment, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fine.
It looks.
Shalom, everyone. I'm about to read Leviticus chapter 12, verse 46 and 47. The difference between the clean and the unclean. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that swarmeth up on the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the living thing that may be eating and the living thing that may not be eating. So basically, the Most High is showing us that some things in the water and some things on land is unclean and clean. And then the Most High will go into telling us what we can eat and what we cannot eat, basically.
Most High be praised. Very good. May the Most High be praised. All right. You going over there? You creeping over there? You got a commandment? You got a commandment for us? All right. Ima, you might as well turn your mic on too so they can hear him. But this participation we're getting from the children is wonderful. I like this participation. We got to do this more often. So he's going to do Leviticus chapter 11, verse 20 to 23. All right, here we go. You turn your mic on?
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. I'm in Leviticus chapter 11, verse 20 through 23. All wings swarming things that go upon a few force are a detestable thing unto you. Yet these may eat. What? Eat.
Well,
Oh, eat.
yeah, those
Yeah.
may eat.
So we've been reading from the Bible, so we got kind of reading old English from.
So eat.
Mhm.
Yeah, he may eat of all winged swarming things that go upon alofters, which have jointed legs above their feet, wherewith to leap upon on the earth. Even these of the ye may eat the lucus after its kind of the bald lucus after its kind and the cricket after its kind and the grasshopper after its kind. But all winged swarming things which for our 4 feet are a detestable thing unto you.
Detestable.
Testable, I mean, detestable.
Do you understand what you read?
Yes. Okay, so what they technically saying is like what insects can be in or what cannot be in. Like it's different things like what you like insects you can eat instead of like different things like because most things that you like insects you can eat that means that you can't eat have like poison and stuff inside of them and other like animals that you can eat, insects that you can't eat that's like they don't have no poison or nothing.
They most happy.
That we.
We'll do it, man. Y'all lining up for that 4 o'clock class, boy.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring it in a few minutes, y'all. That's it. Good man.
That's the shame. Then we can do the, any of the first time.
Yeah.
We gotta do something else. Let's see. Let's see, y'all.
You ready to go?
Yeah, he's trying to, he said he doesn't do the first one.
Oh, somebody else can do it. He's correct.
You wanna go?
All right, turn your mic off, please.
All right. Shabbat Shalom. My law today or this afternoon is going to be coming from Vayikra, Leviticus chapter 15, verse 2 and 3. And it says, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when a man has a discharge from his flesh, his discharge is unclean. And this is his uncleanness in regard to his discharge, whether his flesh runs with his discharge or his flesh is stopped up by his discharge, it is his uncleanness." So what that law says to me is that when a man has any type of discharge, whether it be an open wound that is running with pus or any type of infected fluids or any type of bodily fluids, he is unclean. And even if, say, you have a bump or boil or any type of disease that causes you to bump up and have big boils, but it may not have busted, it's still unclean because that unclean fluid or that that pus or whatever the infection is still present and is still there, so therefore you're still unclean.
Very good. Let me ask you a question. Did you read the part where it says that if it's stopped up or if it's ready?
Yes, sir.
You read that part?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because that's the explanation. And you're 100% correct. May the Most High be praised. To the Bible.
If you wanna leave us there.
You want me to do it? Okay. She gave me a job, y'all. She gave me a job. She gave me a job. She gave me a job. She thought I was unemployed, so she gave me a job. All right, let me look for Ima, Sister Zakari, because I seen her post her commandment. Okay. All right, here's her commandment. Exodus 23 and 25. She forgot to add that. So let me see what Exodus 23 and 25 is. Give me 1 second, please. Exodus 23 and 25. See, y'all probably will have to post your commandments in the future if we're stuck like this. 23 and 25. All right. Now, if anyone wants to come on the screen to state their commandment, you can do so. And we'll give you access to the screen so that you can speak your commandment and people can see you or just people can hear you. But either way, you can come to the screen and speak your portion. Exodus 23 and 25, it says, and ye shall serve the Most High your Elohim, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of thee. And Sister Sukari says, you shall worship the Most High, then he will bless your food and drink and remove sickness from your midst. Mindful service has many benefits. May the Most High be praised. Chodorabah. May the Most High be praised. Let me see if there was another. Was there another commandment? I thought I saw one earlier.
He's ready. Remember?
Yes. Sister Saadia, did I do hers yet? All right. Proverbs 8:34. Happy is the man that hearketh unto me, watch daily at my gates, waiteth in the post of my doors. I thought I did Sister Saadia's earlier. Well, we're doing it again now. Patience is a virtue. Meditation of Ha Elohim enables us to receive the instructions of the Most High. Watching at his gates is all reflective of staying in alignment to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. May the Most High be praised. All right, Ima, you ready?
Okay.
What chapter, book?
Deuteronomy
See that?
18,
Mhm.
verse 10 through 12.
Okay.
There shall not be found among you that maketh his son or daughter to pass through the fire, one that uses divination, a soothsayer, or an enchanter, or a sorcerer, or a charmer, or one that consulteth a ghost or familiar spirit, or a necromancer.
Read number 12.
For whosoever doeth these things is an abomination unto Yahuwah, and because of these abominations to Yahuwah, thy Yahuwah is driving them out before thee.
So now explain it.
That means don't do magic.
That means, huh? Speak up.
That means don't do magic.
How we all doing that?
Because Yahuwah will drive you out. Mm-hmm.
Like going next, so I did this. I kicked y'all out from the Most High people. I did that.
Maybe.
No, you take it from all. The Most High not be out from you doing that. The Most High punishes the people for doing wicked things, like conjuring up the dead. That's necromancy, like what you talked about, talking to the dead. Practicing witchcraft, which means that you're doing all these things and you're giving the energy of the credit or the praise to a deity and not the Almighty. See, a lot of people don't know that. You understand that deeply, but you're right. Okay? So as you grow up, you'll learn more about what understanding and what magic is. All right. I got high expectations. The next 10, 15 years, whoo, you're going to be getting it in. You're going to be like one of the other brothers, trying to think of the young brother's name that I know that chat me, Cos. Cos, yeah.
Cos.
Yeah, young blood Cos.
You want me to read Autumn's? You want me to read Autumn's?
Okay, yeah, keep it.
And then,
The Veriatum is, she put Devarim, Deuteronomy 14, verse 11 through 18. So let me go to it. 14, 11 through 18. Of all clean birds ye may eat, but these are they of which ye shall not eat: the great vulture, and the bearded vulture, and the osprey, and the glede, and the falcon, and the kite after its kinds, and every raven after its kind, and the ostrich, and the nighthawk, and the sea mew, and the hawk after its kind, the little owl, and the great owl, and the horned owl, and the pelican, and the carrion vulture, and the cormorant, and the stork, and the heron after its kinds, and the hoopoe, and the bat. To 18. Okay. And then she said, these verses explain what kinds of birds the Most High does not want us to eat, which includes ravens, vultures, owls, seagulls, hawks, crows, ostrich, eagles, and more. She said, what I noticed about all these birds we can eat is that most, if not all of them, are predator birds. And then she had a question, was, as far as clean birds, we can eat such as the one they ate in scripture, the quail. I'm not sure what separates the unclean bird from the clean bird.
All right. Now, may the Most High be praised. That was a very good commandment. But all the birds, yeah, y'all can hear me, right? Yes. All the birds that we're not able to eat are not all vultures or predator birds. Like the ostrich is not a predator bird. There's a lot of other birds that was mentioned that was little tiny birds, and they're not predator birds. So to say that they're all predator birds is a mistake, because all the birds that we're not able to eat, they're not predator birds. But the chicken is a predator bird. Chicken is a predator bird, and it will kill little bugs, little birds, little animals that's smaller than it, and kill it and eat it. It's tracing it back to its roots. So that's a very good explanation there, very good thing that you've seen, except that the osprey is not a predator bird either, I don't believe. The osprey, I don't believe that's a predator bird. Right? Well, storks go into the ocean and grab fish. So that's kind of like a predator. Yeah, kind of on the predator side, but they eat fish. See, they love that chicken. But let's get started. Let's keep it moving. All right. But thank you, Ishi. That's a very good commandment. And thank you for that wonderful explanation. May the Most High be praised. All right, where we at now?
Sister Titi, hers is found in Ezekiel.
You want to read it?
I'm gonna go to it because it'll just be easier. 18 to 22.
Chapter 18, verse 21, 22.
Shabbat Shalom. I'll be reading Sister Titi's law. It can be found in the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 21 through 22. And it reads, but if the wicked turn from all his sins that he hath committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live, he shall not die. 22, none of his transgressions that he hath committed shall be remembered against him. For his righteousness that he hath done, he shall live. And her explanation is, what I received from this scripture is that we change wholeheartedly, walking in the ways of Torah. The Creator blesses us with a new start in life by not remembering our old wicked ways. Brother Daweed It's found in Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 24. Verse 5. And it reads, when a man taketh a new wife, he shall not go out in the host, neither shall he be charged with any business. He shall be free for his house 1 year, and shall cheer his wife whom he hath taken. And his explanation is when a man have taken a new wife, okay, that's the actual law. So I don't see his explanation yet.
All right, Brother Dawid, get your microphone. All right, Brother Dawid, you got to give your commandment and then you give your explanation of the commandment. So if you have a chance, please do so. Shabbat Shalom, Brother Dawid. Shabbat Shalom. All right, is that it? We done with the commandments?
No, I can't find where I have them.
Sister Opal, are you present? Sister Opal, you giving your commandment for the day? Sister Zanta? So we have a new thing now, y'all, family. If you want to come on the screen and speak and give your commandment and your scripture, then you're welcome to come on the screen to speak and give your commandment. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Explanation.
You want me to read it?
Uh-huh.
Brother Dawid, explanation is to spend the time to be a husband, making your new Isha happy.
Don't tell these women that, boy. You tell these women that, boy, you just marry me. You got to stay home with me for a whole year. You got to make me happy. Cheer her up. Yeah. Good luck with that, bro. Good luck with that. That's your job, Brother Dawid. Don't try to put that on me. May the Most High be praised. To the Rabbah. Did you have something you wanted to say? Okay, go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My law can be found in Deuteronomy, Devarim, chapter 14, verse 21, and it reads, you shall not eat of anything that dieth of itself. Thou mayest give it unto the stranger that is within thy gates, that he may eat it, or thou may sell it unto a foreigner. For thou art a holy people unto the Most High thy power. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in its mother's milk. So my explanation is, sorry, 1 second. My explanation is, of course, we can't eat of anything that dieth of itself. So if we have a flock of sheep and goats, if we have chickens on our land, or, well, we don't eat chickens, so I'm not going to use that, but if we have sheep or goat on our land and we come upon our flock and one of them is dead, then we can't go and take that one that died and then slaughter it and then prepare it to be eaten because it died of itself. We don't know how it died, if it died of disease or if it died from being spooked, because there is a thing where animals can die from being scared, from other animals coming on, predator animals coming. So because we don't know how it died, we cannot eat of it. Then it does say that we can give it to the stranger that is within our gates. So that means, let's say we're having something here and we come upon one of our animals that's dead, and we have invited people onto our land, but they are not, in my opinion, they are not Hebrew, then I would be able to give it to them because they don't subscribe to this law, they don't live by this law, and because the Most High says we can. And then it also says we may sell it to a foreigner. Of course, that's another word or way to say a stranger, but a foreigner too could be a traveler, but also someone who does not abide by the law, such as the commandments that the Most High set before us. And so with that, so we know we can't eat of it, but we can give it to someone else. Another thing that I noticed is that, Payne, I see it. I notice is that people who buy food from the stores, buy meat rather from the stores. So if you go into a store and you buy meat, you don't know how that meat died. You don't know if it died naturally. You don't know if it died of itself. So it would be mindful and wisdom wise not to even purchase that food, because you could be breaking the law without even knowing. And the Most High says, you know, knowingly or unknowingly, it's a sin. And because he told us not to, you know, I would think you should only eat meat that you know how it died, and how it died, how it was killed, for, you know, consumption. That's it. And then Sister Zakaria's, a couple of the sisters have theirs in the group chat. Let me see.
Well, I'm just loving this participation. Everybody got their commandments, their explanation, and everybody getting serious commandments. Nobody getting silly ones like thou should not steal. Everybody do that. Y'all give me some stuff, y'all put some stuff out steady that a lot of people don't.
All right, I'm going to read Sister Ornit's commandment. It can be found in the book of Exodus, Shemot, chapter 21, verse 18. Okay. And her law reads, and if men contend, and one smite the other with a stone or with his fist, and he die not, but keep his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his bed, then shall he that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. Her explanation is this verse refers to a situation where a man has purchased a Hebrew woman to be either his. Am I reading the right one?
She wants to say that. That's what she's going to teach you reading.
Mm-hmm.
She would come on, sis.
Okay, thank you. I don't think that's right. Oh, okay. All right. And Kitar, thank you. Her law can be found in Exodus chapter 18, verse 7 through 18. Since we're in that book already, I will go to Kitar's. And it reads, and Moshe went out to meet his father-in-law and bowed down and kissed him. And they asked each other of their welfare. And they came into the tent. And Moshe told his father-in-law all that the Most High had done unto Pharaoh and to the Egyptians for Israel's sake, all the travail that had come upon them by the way, and how the Most High delivered them. Okay, she said wrong commandment. So, okay, I'm just going to wait for your explanation, and then I'll read Zacharias. Oh, okay.
That's not
Hmm?
Cain's commandment.
She put Exodus 18, 7 through 8. Well, she put Exodus, but that's not what I read. Doesn't have anything to do with what she wrote. Her explanation. Leviticus 18 from Ain Kitar, verses 7 through 8. The nakedness of thy father and the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. Verse 8. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. And her explanation is sexual relationships with your biological mother or stepmother is unlawful.
Unlawful. Everybody remember that. They most high be praised. There's so many people who don't know that. They know. There's another commandment.
Zacharias. All right, more Zacharias' law is found in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 41 through 42. And it reads, Then Moshe separated 3 cities beyond the Jordan toward the sun rising, that the manslayer might flee thither, that slayeth his neighbor unawares, and hated him not in time past, and that the fleeing unto one of these cities he might live. And Mordecai's explanation is, the Most High commands us to judge righteously and grants opportunity for those who have committed transgressions unknowingly or accidentally, an opportunity to be judged with righteousness and compassion.
Great for the opportunity to be judged with righteousness and compassion. Any more?
Ornette just came on so she could do her.
Story. You are our first participant. Yeah,
Is your mic on?
you are our first participant, Sister Anita, in our new way of presenting your commandment. You are number one. You got it, sis. Do your thing.
Shabbat Shalom, Mishpachah. My commandment is coming from Exodus Shemot, chapter 21, verse 7 through 8. And it reads, And if a man sells his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she pleases her master not, who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. To sell her into a foreign nation, he shall have no power, seeing he has dealt deceitfully with her. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, your explanation. You have an explanation, sis?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
For some reason, my phone is glitching. Sorry.
Well, just go ahead.
Um,
We can hear you.
so basically, this is referring to a situation where a man has purchased a Hebrew woman to be either his wife or his son's wife. But if after being bought, she does not please him, which could probably imply that he no longer wishes to marry her, then he is obligated to allow her to be redeemed or bought back by her family. He can't sell her to another non-Israelite because doing so would be considered a breach of trust and a violation of her rights, since her original sale had conditions that were tied to the people of Israel.
May the Most
And the
High.
term,
Go ahead, sis.
I was just about to say, the term dealt deceitfully. This suggests that if the man decided not to marry her, he did not fulfill his promise.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Toda Rabbah.
Now, I also wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure how this scripture would relate to today's time. So I
How
would
it
like
relates to
to
what?
today's time.
Well, the scripture would relate to today's time if we bought and sold Hebrew servants.
Okay.
But today, man got too much pride and arrogance to be a servant, to sell himself into servitude. We don't do that. We'll rather be poor, go rob a bar, than to sell ourselves to our brother to provide for us for a period of time till we get back on our feet. But if it was to apply, it would go still by the same round, same parameters. If he did purchase a Hebrew servant for that purpose, he would not be able to give her to a foreign nation. He could sell her to another Hebrew, but he couldn't sell her to a foreign nation. So that would be the answer. May the Most High be praised. And thank you for being our very first participant in our new method of giving out commandments. If you choose to stay, you're welcome to stay. If you want to go join the flocks of everybody on the side, you can go do that. It's your decision totally. You know how we do. May the Most High be praised. Missed that beautiful voice you got too. We missed that voice.
Okay, hallelujah.
Reading for us every week. She don't read for us no more now, do she? I know. She got out of that job. She said, he's dogging my throat. That's it. I need my voice to talk to my son. How's your son doing?
He's doing excellent.
Tell him we said shalom.
Okay.
All right. Let's get going, family. Are there any other commandments, Iman? No?
No.
All right. Go ahead.
Shalom, everybody. We have 20 people in the room. So if you would please go and like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. We have 7 likes. Let's catch up so we can match the likes to our views. And Toda, shalom.
See, I'd have never said we got 20 people in the room because, see, Prince looks toward the future. I'd have said we got 20,000 people in the room, not 20. We got 20,000 people in the room, but we only got how many likes? 700 likes? That ain't enough. So we got to multiply that, and we project toward the future of what we want it to be. So we got 20,000 likes. Y'all got a whole lot of hundreds of thousands of likes to get up. All right. May the Most High be praised. All right. Are there any questions or comments about anything that you heard thus far, family? All right. So I'm going to give a commandment. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt have no other power before the Most High thy power. Thou shalt not kindle a fire on the Shabbat. Now, that ain't one of the commandments. I can do that, right? Thou shalt not kindle a fire on the Shabbat day. Thou shalt not eat chicken or any of its kind or any of its like. Thou shalt not eat cow or any of its kind or any of its like. Thou shalt not eat shrimp. Thou shalt not eat pork. Thou shalt not eat, what's that other one? Shark. Now, you know, some sharks have scales, but they're very fine scales. So, but you still can't eat shark. Can't eat shark. I didn't know that, but yeah, there's some. Sister Toya, Shabbat Shalom. Yeah, there's a lot of fish that you can't eat. And one fish that a lot of our people like to eat is tilapia. And tilapia is no good for human consumption. It's no good. All right, let me think. Oh, boy. I think I said this one before. I'll say it again. If you have a house that you dedicate to the Most High to be holy, that house will be holy indeed. If there comes a time that you choose that you want your house back, I have to paraphrase because I don't remember verbatim. I'm not like y'all. I don't get to read the scripture and go in and read the scripture and come back and read it while I'm giving my commandment. But anyway, if you want your house back, you have to pay, the priest has to assess a value on your house. And you have to pay the priest the value that he says your house is worth. And then you give it back. You give him that value, and then your house is taken back from the Most High. If there's anything that you dedicate to the Most High to be holy, and then you take it back, you have to value that thing. The priest has to value that thing. He determines to you how much the value is. Once you find that value, you pay it, and then you can have that thing back. It's not just a house. It could be with anything that you found sacred and you wanted to dedicate it to the Almighty. All right? All right.
Did you do a lesson on Cal yet?
Oh, yeah, we still got a lesson to do on Cal. I thought I did it, did
I
I?
thought you brought up, you touched on.
Yeah, beef.
Yeah.
We got a whole lesson on beef for y'all,
A
too.
picture.
Yeah, I did it on Facebook. I showed a picture of what the animal that the cow came from. But we got a whole video on Facebook. Yeah, you know how that's the wife. The wife do that type stuff. Y'all know what goes on. She set all that stuff up. And Sister Oedie saw earlier talking about y'all got on y'all green. That's beautiful. Yes. Yep. That's her fault. That's how the women do. We men just sit back and let y'all do y'all thing. All right, we're going to get to the lesson, y'all. I know that's what y'all came for. Y'all ain't trying to hear me sit back and talk all day. We're going to get to the lesson.
They're gonna stone you. See it?
Somebody going to stone me?
Saying chickens are clean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like to hear that. But them chickens are definitely unclean. All right, family. What scripture are we on? Esther?
Chapter 2, verse 16.
There are a lot of people who disagree with my findings, my teachings. I got a lot of people that disagree with the teachings that I have on chicken, but I haven't had one ask me for my evidence or my proof to verify what I said about the chicken. I haven't had but one person who asked, hey, Prince, could you send me the notes on that chicken, that lesson you did about the chicken? And then that one brother was the only person that said, you know what? Thank you. He's the only person that asked for verification that the chicken was an unclean animal. But it is. Chicken is an unclean animal, and you should not be eating chicken. The chicken is in the vulture family. All right, what's the question? All right, Sister Saadia, if you asked the question, did I give you a copy of the lesson?
You sent it to me.
And my apologies if I didn't get it to you. Did I get it to you? Did you get the lesson? That's right, Sister Toya. Get them. Get them. Sister Saadia, did she receive it? Did you send it to her?
No, I never got the email, but I'm texting her now.
Sister Saadia, Princess is the fault of that. Princess is the fault of that. She'll get you your chicken. All right. Are y'all ready to rock and roll?
So Amy's question.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Amy's question. It's on Am.
Okay, Aim got a question?
Yes.
What is the connection between the death of Egyptian firstborn and the redemption of the firstborn of Israel? Okay. My Aim got a question, and I gotta answer Aim's question. Good question, Aim. All right. Do everybody understand the question? Aim said, why you take the question away?
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Aim says, What is the connection between the death of the Egyptian firstborn and the redemption of the firstborn of Israel? Okay, it's two answers to that, all depending on what you're asking. One question is, what is the connection between the death of the Egyptian firstborn and the redemption of Israel? And I put it that way because the redemption of Israel, when the Most High took them firstborn, that's when he redeemed Israel. During that process, when he killed the firstborn of the Egyptians, he redeemed all of Israel, and we became his. That's what the Creator said. At that time, we became his. But there's another connection. I believe it's the book of Numbers, the 8th chapter, the 11th verse, I believe it is. Somebody want to grab that for me and tell me if I'm right? Numbers, the 8th chapter, the 11th verse. I believe I'm right. Is it Numbers 8 and 11? Where the Creator talks about the redemption of the firstborn? Put your mic on and read that, please, so they can hear it.
Okay, Numbers 8, verse 11 reads, "And Yaron shall offer the Levites and before the Most High for a wave offering from the children of Israel, that they may be to do the service of the Creator." Continue.
Yeah.
Verse 12, "And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks, and offer thou the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering, unto the Most High to make atonement for the Levites." And
16.
okay, go down.
Keep going.
13, "And thou shalt set the Levites before Yaron and before his sons, and offer them for a wave offering unto the Creator. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tent of meeting, and thou shalt cleanse them and offer them for a wave offering." 16, "For they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel. Instead of all that openeth the womb, even the firstborn of all the children of Israel, have I taken them unto me."
All right, so you see that? That's another redemption of the children of Israel. Well, let me explain it to you, how the two of them tied together. When the Most High destroyed the firstborn of the Egyptians and freed us, that was the price that they paid for us being in captivity. The Most High freed us from them, bringing us to himself. So therefore, the firstborn of the children of Israel, all of our firstborn children that opened in the womb, male, had to be dedicated to the Almighty as an offering in exchange for him freeing us from the Egyptian captivity. That's the first redemption. And then later on, while we're making our exodus from Egypt, the Creator came up with this ideal that I'm going to stop that now. So he changed. He said, I'm going to stop from the firstborn of Israel always being dedicated to me, the one that opens the womb, and I'm going to just go with all of the children of Levi. And I'm going to bring them unto myself instead of the firstborn of the children of Israel. So, Aim, I believe that's your answer. I pray that is satisfactory. If not, restate another question and I'll address it again. Yes, Aim, Ishti. Is it like that the price Egypt had to pay for their horrible treatment toward us and not listening to the Most High in his warning? Absolutely. That's exactly what it was. But the Most High had to give us as an exchange for our freedom. He brought us. We belong to him. He made us. We come from him. So he had to do something special so that the world will see, and he did it. And the world seen, and the world know, and the world knew. All right. Are there any other questions?
I have a question. The children.
Let me go on mute.
The question is, are we talking about the children of Egypt, like Pharaoh's firstborn? We talking about those children, and not the ones that need to be freed?
Pharaoh's firstborn was the ones who was killed.
Yes.
All the Egyptians' firstborn were the ones who was killed.
Right.
And the children of Israel were freed on this for their sake.
They didn't have to pay a price, though, right?
Who?
Just the children of Israel.
Our price was to be obedient to the Almighty. But we couldn't do that. Always, Aim. Always. May the Most High be praised. But that was a very good question, Aim. Are there any other questions or comments before we move on to today's lesson? All right. So let's get back to the story. Can somebody give us a summary? Yes. No, the fan can come on, the middle switch. Can somebody give us a summary of the, push it. Push it. All right, push the first one. Push the first one. Turn that one off. Push the last one. Can somebody give us a summary of what we've read so far in the book of Esther? Would anybody like to give us an estimate? No? No? Nobody? So, anybody in the audience want to give us an estimate of what we read so far in the book of Esther? If not, it's okay. We can just move on and y'all just be like, oh yeah, I heard that. Anybody in the audience? Nobody? See, I'll be trying to get y'all involved in the class. You know, I'll be trying to get y'all actively participating in the class. I give y'all a platform, give you the mic, and let you speak, and then you get the opportunity, and nobody wants to say nothing. Saadia, you want to give us an update on the class? Is that what that is? There's the link. You can come in and give us the update if you choose. What did we discuss thus far dealing with the story of Esther? Anyone? Okay, nobody wants to talk. Okay, Saadia is coming up. Go ahead, Saadia. Spill the beans.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. That's what I'm talking about. She got the courage.
Don't hype me up because if I get it wrong. But basically, her uncle Mordecai was preparing her for being a queen, Hadassah, and when she went forth, her name was Esther. He told her not to reveal who her people are, the children of Israel, and basically the reason why she was able to go forth before the king is because of the grace and the patience that she showed, which was contrary to what his previous wife Vashti showed. And then it showed. We went through the preparations. Like he didn't just choose his wife and then go into her. Like she had a whole preparation process that she had to undergo with oils and just her behaviors of how she's supposed to conduct herself. And then you was explaining to us women the importance of grooming ourselves, preparing ourselves, making sure that we are graceful, ladylike, and obviously clean. And you was talking about scented oils and just, like proper grooming ourselves, how that is what is attractive about women. And then that would get the attention of the husband to favor his wife.
All right, you said a mouthful. May the Most High be praised. The only thing I didn't hear you say was how she not only physically had to be clean, but spiritually and emotionally had to be clean as well. And Esther, Hadassah, she carried all those traits within her personality. She was pleasant. She was kind. She was respectful. When she walked in the room, people just was good to her, respectful for her because of the aura that she displayed. So with the exception of that, sis, you did 100%. May the Most High be praised. The only thing is that I learned last week that Mordecai was her cousin and not her uncle. Now, I didn't know that before. I was thinking that it was her uncle. So my apologies for teaching you that, if you got that from me. But Mordecai, he was actually her cousin and not her uncle. Where you go? You don't want to be on the platform no more? Okay, that's no problem. But thank you for your portion. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. All right, let's rock and roll. Y'all ready? Let's rock and roll. Any questions before we begin? Yes.
You said she had to be cleansed spiritually and mentally and stuff, but you also said that she already was those things.
Yes.
So I'm saying, how did she have to be cleansed?
She didn't have to be because she already had it naturally. But a normal female stepping into her fullness of power, strength, and might, she has to encapsulate a certain type of spirit. Pleasant, kind, sweet, not loud spoken, almost on the timid side of things, but yet timid with confidence and timid with strength. All right? That type of thing. Yes, she did a great job. May the Most High be praised. All right, can we all see that? We all can see that, right? Let's get started. So we're going to pick up where we left off. Now remember, King Ahasuerus had just divorced Vashti. He gave her a bill of divorce. The reason why he gave her a bill of divorce was because he gave her a command and she rejected his command. Just that simple. As a leader of men, as a king of a nation, if he gives you a command, you do it and ask questions later. You do what he asks of you, you ask the questions later. She didn't do that because she was having a party for her girls while he was having a party for all his guys. So what she decided to do was she decided to say, no, I ain't coming. And she stood by her decision and she didn't come. And this thing made the king look bad in front of 7 men that he sent to go get her. Only 7 men understood that he sent for the queen. The rest of the people that was out there enjoying themselves had no idea what the king had did. Only those 7 men that he sent knew that he had sent for the queen. But when he sent for her, she said, no, I ain't coming. She said, I ain't coming. She told the king no. Something that women, you gotta try to get around saying to your husband. You should never say no to your husband. You should try to get it worded in a different way. You know what I mean? But to say no is something that you don't want to say to your husband. If you see something that's impossible, ask him, and how am I to get that done? Respectfully. You don't, oh no, I ain't doing that. That ain't how it goes. You know what I mean? You want to approach him with respect. All right? So let's go on. Afterwards, he had to set an example for the rest of the nation. His 7 men already knew. But the reason why he had to make a big thing out of it is because if he did not check her and those men knew what she did, then eventually those other 7 men would have became disrespectful in his eyes. As we read this story, we're going to read about some men that became deceitful in his eyes that tried to take him out. When a man undermines the king, he set traps and he tried to take the king down. He might favor you and talk real good to you to be your friend and then talk bad about the king to see how you respond. If you don't automatically respond with shut up, I'm telling on you, or cutting his head off yourself, if you don't automatically deal with that issue and you let it go, he's going to come back to you another time. And he's going to talk to you some more negative things about the king. And another time until he gets you convinced because you sat there and listened, you open the door for sin to creep in. And once you open the door and let that sin creep in, that sin just going to explode in your mind. All of a sudden, you're going to start getting these ideals that the king is evil, the king is wicked, the king need to be replaced. And you're going to think you're right. And you're going to do those things. And those things wasn't good. So what he did was, we're going to read through the story and how it goes. So if that happens, and if that was addressed, that thing would have been destroyed, but it wasn't addressed. We just let rumors and gossip linger on into our spirit, and it gives us a false impression of reality, all based on what we believe that this person has told us to be true. All right? So let's pick up in the book of Esther. Read on, please.
Okay. Okay, reading from the book of Esther, Hadassah,
Chapter 2, verse 15.
chapter 2, verse 15.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
Now, when the turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed.
See what I mean about her spirit? As I brought out last week, she could have got anything. Oh, give me that gold necklace with the diamonds and the rubies and the emeralds. Give me a long beach rug with horses pulling me in a chariot with somebody walking behind with rose petals and dropping them. She didn't require none of that stuff. Let me tell you something, brothers. When you get your hands on a woman that has minimum requirements, you give her the world. You give her way more than what she could imagine she even wanted. You know what I'm saying? You give her the world, but yet she does a lot, but have minimal requirements, but yet she does a lot, she produces a lot, she brings about a lot, but requires very little. You go overboard and give her the best that you can possibly give her. Watch how Hadassah is going to be blessed, because she was just that type of woman who possessed that type of spirit. Oh, you don't have to give me a lot, and I'll be happy and content, and I'll work hard at what I do, because she understood her position as a possible queen. Read on, please.
16. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house, royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight, more than all virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head,
Go ahead.
and made her queen instead of Vashti.
Now, did you see what just happened? Did y'all hear what just read? Was just read just now? What we said? It said he loved her. He loved her more than all the virgins, that he set a royal crown upon her head. And he hadn't even been with her that long. He took her in his 7th year, the 10th day of the month, or the 10th month of the 7th year of his reign. And he fell in love from day one. You know why he fell in love from day one? Because she was the truth. She was a great woman. She was beautiful to look at. Plus, she had her spirit and her personality completely intact, and she knew her strength. You know how I know she knew her strength? Because when, as we read earlier, you only come before the king when he summons you. But she made prayer. She went to the Father, and she took it upon herself to go before the king. A bold move. That means that she knew her strength, and she utilized her strength when it was needed and necessary. Read on, please.
18. Then the king made of a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release to the provinces and gave gifts according to the bounty of the king.
Now, I got to explain this to y'all. I know you think you understood what you just heard, but this is what happened. The king was so pleased with his wife, his new wife. He was so in love with his new wife that he wanted to share her and celebrate her with the rest of the people. So you know what he did? He had a feast called Esther's Feast. This where they get Easter from? No, I'm just joking. It's Esther's Feast. They had an Esther feast with all the town, all the people. This is a partying man. He has a whole lot of feasts. He's very generous. He's very concerned about the welfare of the people in his providence. Anytime he wants to throw a celebration, he treats the poor people just like the rich people, and they all get together and have a celebration. So he was so happy with his wife. Why am I saying this, sisters? Because this is how your husband needs to be with you. You need to please your husband so much that every time he has an opportunity to do something for you, he does it. And he doesn't hesitate. And you ain't got to call him and ask him 15 times, are you going to have a celebration for me? Are you going to have a celebration for me? Are we going to celebrate our anniversary? He won't even forget your anniversary if you're such a beautiful woman. See, it's something, man. You got to put your thing down like I'm trying to teach y'all. Once you drop all that on him and you get him to love you and to desire you, he will do things that no other man has ever done for you in your life. And if it's the right way, if it was done the right way, you would have never had another man in your life, so it will still be true. May the Most High be praised. Read on, please. Who? Or need one? What? Or what? Oh, wow. She back with power. She said, I'm back, friends. I want to read. All right, Sister Ornette, let's go. What verse we on?
Reading from the book of Esther or Hadassah, chapter 2, verse 18. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and his servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release from taxes to the provinces and gave gifts according to the bounty of the king.
Now, you know he's really happy because he just gave people a break on their taxes. Anytime a man part with money, he's really happy. And that's exactly what he did. He gave a break to all of those who paid their taxes in his provinces. He said, you know what? Hey, y'all take a break. Y'all can keep that for this portion. All right? He showed great generosity to the people. Read on, please.
Verse 19.
You know, he must have really loved that girl, man. She must have really dropped something on him. She must have. I mean, listen, she bathed. Think about it, y'all, for a minute. She bathed in oils for 6 months before she came into him. And in another 6 months, 12 months, she soaked in oils and frankincense and myrrh and special fragrances and aromas. Her skin was super soft. Always keep yourself super soft for your husband. She was smelling super good. Always find that fragrance that he liked and always wear it. Okay? And if you want to find several fragrances that he liked, find several. But always wear those things. Your desire is to be towards your husband. Always wear those things that you know attracts him to you. Always do those things. Go ahead, sis, because you got me hype up here. Go ahead. Get it in, sis.
Verse 19. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time.
The virgins. I ain't going to tell y'all what I was just thinking. When the virgins was gathered out, all right, I'll tell y'all. No, y'all might get mad. Y'all might get mad at me. No, I ain't going to leave that alone. So, no, man, you ain't getting me beat up here. They already said they wanted to stone me. Keep on, let's go. And when the virgins was gathered together the second time.
Then Mordecai sat in the king's gate.
So he watched it all. Now, watch this. What is the name of this lesson? Recognizing when the Most High is using you. Mordecai is going to recognize when the Most High is using him. Esther is going to recognize when the Most High is using her. And Ahasuerus is going to recognize when the Most High is using him. But how many of us are going to recognize when the Most High is using us in our lives? Let's read on, please.
Verse 20. Esther had not yet revealed her kindred, nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For
Now, before you go on, Esther had not revealed that she was a Hebrew Israelite. Why? Because her uncle told her not to do that. You know how hard it is to find an obedient wife, let alone an obedient niece? He told her not to, and did she do it? No. She did exactly what her uncle told her to do. Keep your mouth shut. And that's what she did. You at the average young lady today, you tell them something, and you tell them not to tell nobody, and you tell them to be quiet in an assembly, and you even the young men today, you tell them that, and what they running with it. Oh, I just felt like I had to say something. I couldn't let him do that to me. I couldn't let them do that. I couldn't let them say that. I had to. No, you be quiet, and you do what you're commanded to do. That's part of our issue and part of our problem as a people. We don't know how to keep our mouth shut. We don't know how to follow instructions. Hadassah knew how to follow instructions. She did exactly what she was told to do. She did not reveal her nationality to those people. She was going to be used by the Creator. Neither her or her uncle, her cousin, knew that, but yet the Creator worked through her cousin to give her instructions that will save her life and save the lives of many of the children of Israel. Read on, please.
Verse 20.
Oh, before you continue, this wasn't something new for her. She was always a woman to follow instructions. And you'll see that when she finishes her reading.
Verse 20. Esther had not yet revealed her kindred, nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai.
She did what?
Did the commandment of Mordecai.
She did what? One more time.
Did the commandment of Mordecai.
So can you do the commandments of your husband? Can you do the commandments? So why you sit up here lying talking about Cain? Y'all talking about, yeah, we can do the commandments of our husband? Yeah, right. As long as it's pleasing to you, you will. But how about when your husband have you to do something that's against what you would like to do because you got something that you want to do and you want to get it done, but your husband say, hey, listen, I need you to do this. Would you drop what you're doing to give your desires to your husband and do what your husband has requested of you? She said, it's not hard just as long as he's not telling me to kill big bugs. And that's horrible. A big bug, he tells you to kill a big bug and you gets upset? Wow. Okay, read on, please. Watch this.
Just as when she was brought up with him.
She's accustomed to, read that part again.
Esther had not yet revealed her kindred, nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, just as when she was brought up with him.
So she obeyed his voice always. You know how hard it is to get a woman to obey a man's voice in all things? You know how hard it is? Extremely difficult. Esther was made for this. Esther was made to be a queen. She demonstrated it in her life just as a young lady. She was already marriage material. You can be a woman, but don't mean you're ready to be a wife. You follow me? You can be a woman, but it doesn't mean that you're ready to be a wife. Esther was a young woman, Hadassah. She was a young woman, but she was a wife. And she wasn't even married yet. So now y'all understand what I mean when I say to you all that if you're single and you want to be married, act like you're married now. Act like you're already married. So that way the right man will be attracted to you, and your goodness and your blessings, your kindness, your generosity, all that stuff will speak for you. And he will see that and recognize that and utilize you for the best service he has as a wife. Read on, please.
Verse 21. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh.
Now, who is this? Big Thong. He had a big thong. And Tourette's. He had Tourette's. The disease. No, that's their name. Big Thong and Tourette's. Somebody saying, stop that, Prince. All right, I'm going to stop that from now on, just so you'll get the message. You know why I do things like that? Because when I was in college, we learned in social studies that people learn better when you crack jokes and you make them laugh. They retain that stuff in their memory, what they heard. So we're talking about Big Thong and Tourette's. All right, but this is it. We ain't gonna talk about no more. I want y'all to watch how this all lays out. Mordecai is at the gate watching the virgins come in to the castle. He's sitting there watching, minding his business. What made him be there? Only the Most High knows. But the Most High had him there for a reason. And while he was at the gate, he heard something. He witnessed something. Remember that conversation I just had with y'all just a minute ago about how when you're a king or you're a leader and somebody's envious or jealous of your rulingship, and they will speak, whisper in the ears of somebody else to try to bring you down, try to get somebody else on their team. This is Mordecai. This is what Mordecai witnessed. This is what he heard. So he had the opportunity to share that with the king. But how did he get the message to the king? Through his niece. Mordecai sharp. Mordecai sharp. But who's even sharper is the Almighty. Because the Almighty made Mordecai be there at that particular time. The Almighty made Mordecai hear what he heard. The Almighty gave Mordecai the intelligence to take it to the niece and win favor with the king, so that all this unravels later on in history. Read on, please.
2 of the king's chamberlains, Bigthon and Teresh, of those who kept the door, were angry and sought to lay hands on the king Ahasuerus.
Now they was angry. What were they angry with the king for? But they thought to lay hands on him meant that they wanted to assassinate him. Why? What would be the reason? They were eunuchs. They couldn't have intercourse with a woman. They was upset. They was angry. They probably wasn't getting enough money. They was sad. They was angry because the king was having a feast for everybody. Everybody liked the king. The king was getting stuff done, and they wasn't doing much of nothing. They didn't have much responsibility. So if they was going to kill him, the ideal is that they would kill him and they would usurp his position, that they would take over the throne. But which one of them was qualified? They couldn't even do an assassination correctly. You follow me? So neither of them was qualified, but yet they think that they can do his job. And that's what people often think in this life. When you do your job and you do it well, people, onlookers that standing by will see you doing your job and be like, I could do that. Matter of fact, I could do better than that. Give me the opportunity. Watch me. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it so that these people lose their position and I'm going to be that man. And if you're a good wife, you'll get other women standing by the side because you make it look so easy how you provide and take care of the needs of your husband. You make it look so easy that underqualified women will look at you doing your job and say, I could do that. I could take her place. I can get her out. Not that I could be a sister wife, but I can get her out the picture. I could do better than her. I will make his heart turn toward me because I look better than her. My body is shaped better than hers. But a real man don't worry about that though. You know what I mean? A real man will kick you to the curb no matter how pretty your face is, no matter how many curves you got on your body. A real man will kick you to the curb if your spirit is out of order. If your essence is not right, you will be lost. So you got to get that inside of you right. Develop that woman. Esther had all of that. She was worthy to be queen. Read on, please.
Verse 22. And the thing was known unto Mordecai, who told it unto Esther, the queen. And Esther informed the king of it in Mordecai's name.
In Mordecai's name. But watch this. The king is going to do his investigation. The king is going to find out what the correct method was, that these men was really guilty. And the king is going to deal with them, but the king is going to forget all about who gave him the information about the assassination attempt. He's going to forget all about it. But he didn't do it on his own. I think the Most High removed it from his mind because the Creator had another plan. Watch this. Read on, please.
Verse 23. And when inquiry was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore, they were both hanged on a tree.
So they didn't just kill these men. They inquired, they investigated. They found out that these men was guilty, and then they hung them on a tree. Read on.
And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king.
Go ahead, sis, you got it.
Reading from the book of Esther or Hadassah, chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Ahasuerus promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set him seat above all the princes who were with him. And all the king's servants who were within the king's gate bowed and did obeisance to Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did obeisance to him.
So watch this. Remember what I told you about those people who get jealous of you and want to tear you down? The people are watching Mordecai sitting at the gate. And they notice that every time Haman come by, Mordecai don't bow. So what did they do? They go talk to Mordecai. Hey, brother, why every time such happen, you don't do this? And Mordecai just explains to him, I'm a Hebrew and I only bow to the creator of all creation. He explained that to him. And what they did was they plotted against him to try to bring him down. This ain't something that Haggai, he noticed on his own. He didn't notice this on his own. Haman didn't notice this on his own. These two spies, they gathered this information and they went to Haman and told Haman. So they actually showed Haman that somebody's disrespecting him, which was embarrassing to Haman. Therefore, because Haman is used to everybody bowing down to him. So it's embarrassing to him now that he got somebody that ain't bowing down to him, that ain't a nobody. That man ain't a nobody. Why he ain't bowing to me? Because I'm somebody. Did you want to ask a question?
King, I'm just going to ask you reference to bowing. So you're saying Mordecai, he didn't bow because he only bowed to the creator. But when you say bow,
They prostrate to the ground. Yeah. I ain't talking about to greet somebody like that. We do that all the time. I'm talking about a prostration form of bowing with their face on the ground when Haman came by. A lot of people of royalty, you couldn't even look at them. You had to turn your face away or you had to get down on the ground and keep your face down as they went by. You couldn't even look at them. A lot of people are royalty. All right, read on, please.
In verse 3, then the king's servants, who were with the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spoke daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's words would stand.
So they wanted to challenge Mordecai when he said, I'm a Hebrew, I don't bow to nobody but the Most High. They wanted to challenge him. So they went and told Haman that this guy, this joker down here at the gate, the Hebrew, he ain't bowing when you come by. So they wanted Haman to say something to Mordecai and see if Mordecai buckled, see if Mordecai changed his words. How often does that happen to you in your life? I remember when I was a correctional officer in the prison years and years ago. They had a rotating shift where they make you work 5 days, you off 2, 5 days, you off 2. So if I'm off Monday this week, I'm off Tuesday and Wednesday next week. So it will rotate, and then every day you get around. So when Saturday comes around, you have to work on at least 2 Saturdays out of a month, right? But when Saturday came around, Prince don't show up. The challenge now is, am I going to resign from my job and lose my job, or am I going to challenge them? If I'm going to give in, or am I going to challenge them? If I give in, when they say you better be the work boy on Saturday, a lot of Israelites give in and they go to work on Saturday. Mordecai was challenged, but Mordecai didn't go to work on Saturday. And I'm talking about a lot of prominent Israelite leaders. When they job tell them to come to work, they go do what their job tell them to do. And some of them find an excuse and say, yeah, I know, but we in the land of our captivity, man. We ain't gonna have it our way all the time. We got to do what they tell us to do sometime. The Most High knows my heart. Y'all know how we do every time we want to convince somebody that we are all right. The Most High knows my heart. The Most High gave you a commandment, and it's best that you obey his command. But we don't. What we do is we give those who are our oppressors superior treatment over the Almighty and his commandments. Mordecai, they wanted to check Mordecai, see if he was going to do that. See if Mordecai was going to change his mind. He had already told them what he couldn't do because he worshiped the creator of all creation. So they say, well, we're going to see how much you really fear that king you talking about, that creator of yours. Hey, Haman, this joker right here don't bow when you come by. Check him out, Haman, next time you go through the king's gate. What we say, sis? Read on.
For he had told them that he was a Hebrew. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him obeisance, then was Haman full of wrath.
He got wrath, full of anger. His ego just rose up. Because one man out of all those people was in the street did not bow to him. See, that set a bad precedent. If Mordecai didn't do it, then others would stop doing it, and he couldn't have that. You're going to show him respect. What's wrong with you? Read on, please.
Verse 6. And he disdained to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had made known to him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Hebrews.
Do you see the hatred that got inside of this man because this man wouldn't bow down and pay obeisance to him?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't just hate Haman. He hated all Haman's people. This is some perpetual hatred. But a lot of people don't know that this hatred go all the way back to the time of Saul. This hatred of Haman and his people and the Israelite people go all the way back to the time of Saul. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? Huh? Do y'all remember when the Most High told Mordecai was prepared to die, then bow to some man? There you go. That's how it's supposed to be when you call yourself a servant of the Almighty. Do y'all remember the story when the Most High told Saul to kill the Amalekites? He said, kill all of them. He killed the young, kill the old, kill the women, all of them who haven't known man. Matter of fact, kill everybody, even kill the animals, kill the sheep. He said, kill everything. And Saul went in and brought the king back alive, brought the breast of the sheep and some of the young virgins. He brought everything back. And then when Samuel came in, Samuel said, why are you doing this? Didn't the creator tell you to kill everything? Saul said, yeah, but I just wanted to see if I can get them to come. And, because it was too valuable, we took the best of everything and brought it back to give to the creator. Samuel took out a knife, a spear, a sword, and chopped off Agag's head. Chopped off his head, who was the king of the Amalekites. Cut his head off. Samuel wasn't no joke. Don't sleep on Samuel. Samuel was one of my favorite prophets, him and Elijah. They was my best ones. Cut his head off. And Abba, why you right here? Abba, you're supposed to be up here with us. Abba, it ain't the same if you ain't here. It ain't the same if you ain't here with us, Abba. Oh, man. Cut his head off. The Amalekites and the Agagites are the same people. So Haman's bloodline is a mixture with the Amalekites. He's from that bloodline. So he has a natural hatred for the Hebrew people. And a lot of people don't know that. But he had a natural hatred for the bloodline of Mordecai. So that also fueled the hatred between Haman and Mordecai. So he was determined to destroy, Haman was determined to destroy Mordecai and all of the people who was like him because of what happened under the orders of the Creator so many years ago to his ancestors. Well, I want to give him his props, though. You know why I want to give him his props? Because he held what happened to his ancestors in his soul. And the first opportunity he got to take vengeance over those who mistreated his ancestors, he did it. But we don't do it. They treated our ancestors like trash, less than dogs. They hung us on trees so the birds would come and eat our flesh. They raped us, castrated us, dug holes and put us in the hole and ran past with billy clubs and knocked our heads off. And then we grow up and we marry them. We want to reproduce children with them now. It ain't funny, but it happens and it's sad because we have no loyalty to our own. But we got to get it. Haman never forgot what happened to his descendants. And all other nationalities never forget what happened to their people, except the black man here in America. We always forget. Always. But the Most High is King. And maybe one day soon we won't be forgetting any longer. Read on, please. Yes.
I was thinking about, because you said he kept some of the women.
No, I think yeah, he did, but he wasn't supposed to. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, just how when Moshe was, when his mother sent him away, but she still breastfed him and raised him up. Like, I'm thinking even with Haman, even though it was generations from him, those women who were held captive or brought in, they remembered. And so I'm thinking they taught, you know, even though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They passed it down.
Yeah.
What happened? Just like slavery was passed down to us, what happened, but yet we still in love with our oppressors. We still in love with them. And every other nation seems to remember what happened to their ancestors except us. We're the only ones who, oh man, that was them. They ain't here no more. And make it okay. But it's not okay. Read on, please.
Verse 6. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Hebrews that were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai.
He sought to destroy all the Hebrews because of the hatred that he had. Once he got risen to a position of power, he wanted to take revenge on the Most High's people. Read on, please.
Verse 7. In the first month, that is the month of Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast that is the lot, before Haman, from day to day, and from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad, and is dispersed amongst the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom.
Now you see, he couldn't take it no longer.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't take it no longer. He plotted all this time how to destroy the people. So what he did was he went to the king to set a trap for the people. Because once the king put out a decree, then it has to be followed. He knew that. He was a powerful man in the kingdom. He got tired of Haman, Mordecai disrespected him. So he said, I got something for you. I'm not just going to get you. I'm going to get you and your people. Watch what happens, please. A lot of people will walk around with hatred for you in their heart and pretend to be your friend right to your face. They'll act like y'all the best of friends. They'll even have you food. But you got to test people to see where people's spirit truly is with you as an individual. Especially if you got something going on for yourself in your life. You got to test those people you keep in your company. Read on, please.
And their laws are different from all the people.
Chapter and verse, please.
Verse 8, reading from Esther or Hadassah, chapter 3, verse 8. And Haman said unto the king Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad, and dispersed amongst the people in all provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are different from all the people. Neither keep they the king's law. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to tolerate them.
Stop for a second, please. Did y'all hear that? You can't keep the laws that are created in the land of your captivity. You can only keep the laws of the Most High if you're in the Holy Land of Israel. How many people you heard say that throughout your life? Many people say that. Is the children of Israel at this present time living in Susa, are they in the land of Israel? Then what law are they keeping other than the king's law? Because it said they're not keeping your law, king. They're keeping a different set of laws. So what set of laws are the children of Israel keeping in a land of captivity. I got a lot of people that question these that say you can't keep the Creator's law in the captivity land. So I would go to the land, to this scripture right here, and I would use that scripture right there to show them that you can keep the law of the Almighty in anywhere in the earth. That's my proof right there. Yes.
So, that's a good point. You bring it out.
Excellent point.
Yeah, it really is. And so when it comes to like us being in our captivity right now, right?
Yes.
You know how in the law, like you commit adultery, you know what I'm saying? Like why are we not able to like execute our own judgment?
Because we scared. Some of us ain't scared though. But because we scared, we don't execute our own judgments, knowing based upon what the law says.
I would assume that's what they were doing at this time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know,
They was keeping the laws of the Almighty. Absolutely. But we scared. We don't want to really do the laws of the Creator. For real, for real.
Wait, can I say something?
Yes.
So, like when you say thou shalt not murder, we can only murder if it's righteous.
Murder and kill are two different things. You should never murder. Never, thou shalt never murder. That's what it should say. Thou shalt never murder. But to put to death for a justified reason is acceptable in the eyes of the Almighty. Okay? So if a man raped a woman, if he ordered a woman, took her word, right, and didn't do what the law says for him to do, then you're supposed to put him to death. All right? Are there any other questions? All right, sis, where we at? Chapter and verse, please.
Reading from the book of Esther or Hadassah, chapter 3, verse 9. And if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed. And I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of the business, to bring it into the king's treasuries. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it unto Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the Hebrews' enemy.
The Hebrews' enemy. Do y'all think we have enemies today?
Definitely.
Absolutely. That's right. And a lot of them look like you. A lot of them look just like, you don't think Haman and Mordecai look the same? The Persians were black. They were black. This is Susa, one of the provinces in Persia. They were black people. Haman looked just, and a lot of the people today that walk around with fringes talking about shalom, shalom, they Agagites. They are Amalekites, and you'll never know. You'd be surprised, but that's why I say you got to really watch people. How many of them are really willing to do this law? Forget what they say. Judge them based on their essence and what they do. Because a lot of them are deceptive. Read on, please. Hey, shalom, Abba. You coming in?
I'm here.
All right. May the Most High be praised. We ain't know what to do without you, Abba. We was pulling our hair out, losing our mind. Go ahead on. Let's go, y'all.
Verse 11. And the king said unto Haman, the silver is given to thee, the people also, to do with them as it seemeth good to thee.
Wow. Haman got the king. What's that word? Yeah, but no. True. What's that word when you put up the money for somebody to do something? No. All right, don't forget about it. Forget about it. He got the king to, oh man, where's my mind at right now? Yeah, like an endorsement. But they have a word for it. All right, we'll figure it out. It'll come to me in a minute. He got the king to do it though. I see it right. Start with a P. It's right on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. But go ahead, read on, please.
Verse 12. Then were the king's scribes called on the 13th day of the first month, and there was written accordingly to all that Haman had commanded unto the king's deputies and to the governors who were over every province, and to the princes of every people of every province, according to its writing, and to every people after their language. In the name of King Ahasuerus was it written, and sealed with the king's ring. All the letters were sent by post into all the king's provinces, to destroy, to kill, and to cause to perish all Hebrews, both young and old, little children and women, in one day, even upon the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month of Adar, and to take the property of them for spoil.
Wow. Hold on for a second, sis. That's some deep stuff. That's some deep stuff, y'all. This thing is real. This has happened to us as a people, and it's happening to us now. The king just made a decree to kill all the Hebrews, young and old, slaughter them. Slaughter them. And for what reason? Because they didn't obey and live by the same law that the king decreed to be law. They live by the Most High's law in the land of captivity. So a lot of people teach you you can't keep the Creator's law in your land of captivity, but you can keep the Creator's law in the land of captivity, and there's your proof. Read on, sis. Please.
Verse 14. The copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, that they should be ready for that day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment and the decree that was given in Shushan, the palace. And the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city Shushan was perplexed.
The whole city was thrown into convulsions. Haman actually coerced the king to bring about a decree that on the 13th day of Adar, and Adar is the last of the year, right before Passover, that the 13th day of Adar, that they will go to war and kill all the children of Israel. The king wrote it in a book and stamped it and sealed it, which made that thing law. It made it permissible that nobody will be charged with murder if they kill the Hebrews. Nobody. This is some deep stuff. This is a very, very serious situation. Mordecai is going to hear this, and Mordecai is going to flip. But Mordecai is being used by the Almighty. Hadassah is being used by the Almighty. Ahasuerus is being used by the Almighty. Even Haman is being used by the Almighty. You got to all recognize when the Most High is using you for whatever purpose. And if you think it's something evil, I promise you something good is going to come out of it if the Most High is using you. Just because you think it's evil don't mean that it's evil. For example, if a man attacked me in the alley at night, I'm walking with my wife, and I ain't got on no slides. I don't wear no Crocs, so I wouldn't have those on. And a man attacked me in the alley, and I chop him in the throat, chop him on the other side, and hit him underneath his armpit. He on the ground, and I take my gun and beat him up with my pistol, with my gun. To an onlooker, somebody walking by, they would think that man is evil. That man is wicked. He's bad. Look what Prince, is that Prince? Look what Prince did to that man. But to my wife and to anybody who witnessed what he actually did, well, Prince, you could have had a little bit of compassion. Why? That's our problem right now. We have too much compassion on those who don't deserve compassion. That's part of our problem right now. You could have had a little bit more compassion on the brother Prince. You ain't had to beat him down. He was already on the ground. He wasn't moving. His finger could have moved. He could have pulled his gun up and shot me, anything. So I had to make sure he couldn't move no more because he attacked me. He tried to destroy my life, my wife's life. He tried to do what he could do just for a couple of hours or whatever reason. He could have been a hitman. I don't know. But he got hit instead. You follow me? So, anyway, let's go on, sis, before I go off into a tantrum. Because you know I can do that.
Reading from the book of Esther or Hadassah, chapter 4, verse 1.
I was talking about how you can be used from the Most High to do what you think is evil, but it ain't necessarily evil. So you continue to do what the Almighty has for you to do, even if you think it's something negative. You just pray to him and talk to him and communicate with him, and he'll let you know what it is that he's requiring of you. And if he says this is what he's requiring of you, you do it. And I don't care what it looks like. Obey, because obedience is worth more than sacrifice. You do what the Creator tell you to do. Read on, please.
When Mordecai learned all that was done, Mordecai tore his clothes and put on sackcloth with ashes and went out into the center of the city and cried with a loud and bitter cry.
Now, when's the last time you did that, family? When the last time that you took it upon yourself to go to the Most High and take off your pretty garments and put on your rough garments, put dirt all on your face, lay down in the mud and cry to the Creator for help? When the last time you did that? And if you haven't never done it, then maybe you should. And when you do it, that will be the first turnaround for you to worship this King. It will be the first turnaround for you to worship the Almighty. Then you will understand what building a strong rapport with the Creator spiritually is all about. Read on, please.
Verse 2. And it came before the king's gate, for none might enter into the king's gate clothed with sackcloth. And in every province, where the king's commandment and his decree came, there was great mourning among the Hebrews, and fasting, and weeping, and wailing, and many lay in sackcloth and ashes.
So many laid in sackcloth and ashes. When we come together as a people and we mourn, we cry out to the Most High with one common goal, the Most High will hear us. But that's the problem, that we don't have that unity in this nation today. The Israelites are not unified in almost anything. There's a great division in the midst of us. We need to change that. But when we cry to the Most High has compassion upon us, and he hears our cry. Rather we cry individually, is more powerful when we cry collectively. Here at Temple Kipharim, at Beulah Land at Temple Kipharim, we pray to the Most High a minimum of 3 times a day. 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, before you go to bed. Imagine if we all did that collectively throughout the world. As Hebrews, we were known for that. 5 o'clock prayer, that 2 o'clock prayer, and that before you go to bed prayer. Imagine if we all walked on one accord and did that. Here in Beulah Land at Temple Kipharim, we fast every Wednesday, 18 hours. From Tuesday night at 12 o'clock to Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, we fast. And we do it in unison. We all do it together. Imagine how powerful something like that would be if the whole nation of Israel did that together, collectively. How beautiful would that be? Do you understand the force and power that we would have? The 2 o'clock prayer that you pray, you never pray for yourself. The 2 o'clock prayer is Zadikah prayer. Some people say Zedekah, Prince says Zadikah. It's a charity prayer. It's when you pray for others, the welfare for others, the riches of others, the health of others. You pray at 2 o'clock for others. You never pray for yourself during the 2 o'clock prayer. The 5 o'clock prayer, you pray for whatever you want. The before you go to bed prayer, you pray for whatever you want. But in the midst of all your gettings, give some charity. So therefore, 2 o'clock has been assigned that we give that prayer out to everyone else and not ourselves. May the Most High be praised. Read on, sis, please.
Verse 4. So Esther's maids and her chamberlains came and told it to her. Then was the queen exceedingly grieved, and she sent Raymond to clothe Mordecai and to take away his sackcloth from him. but he accepted it not.
Mordecai was the man. Mordecai said, no, I'm going to grieve. I'm going to fast before the Almighty. I'm going to put on these sackcloth and ashes, and I'm going to mourn. Wow, that's deep. That's a powerful move. So Esther wasn't as strong as Mordecai, didn't understand Mordecai's plot. What'd you keep doing that for, man? Stop doing that. Put some stuff. Yeah, we talk about it later. And she didn't understand the suffering of Mordecai, why it was so deep in him. She sent him some clothes and said, Mordecai, here, change your clothes, get dressed. And Mordecai said, no, I ain't putting that on. I'm not putting that on. He said, I'm going to continue on this fast. Read on, please.
Verse 5. Then called Esther for Hathach, one of the king's chamberlains, whom he had appointed to attend upon her, and gave him a commandment to Mordecai, to learn what it was and why it was. So Hathach went forth to Mordecai unto the street of the city, which was before the king's gate. And Mordecai told him of all that had happened unto him, and of the exact sum of money that Haman had promised to pay to the king's treasuries for the Hebrews, to destroy them.
To destroy the Hebrews. Read on.
Also, he gave him the copy of the writing of the decree that was given to Shushan, that was given at Shushan, to destroy them, to show it unto Esther, and to explain it unto her, and to charge her that she should go unto the king to make supplication unto him, and to make request before him for her people.
Remember, what's the name of today's lesson? Recognize when the Most High is using you. At Hadassah, she hadn't recognized that yet. She hadn't recognized it yet. Mordecai hadn't recognized it yet. King Ahasuerus hadn't recognized it yet. They're going to recognize it. And when they recognize it, they're going to give all of their energy into their cause and their mission and their purpose. So sometimes there's prophets who know that they're prophets in our midst, at least in their opinion, they feel like they are. They'll tell somebody else that they're a prophet, that they believe that they're a prophet, a creator, because they keep having these dreams and visions and stuff that they see comes to pass. So they have to accept that they are prophets, and they'll tell that to somebody. Well, somebody who want to be a prophet or don't believe that we have prophets will get a coup and try to tear down that individual for what they believe about themselves. And if you give them that type of energy and power over you, you will begin to doubt it about your very existence and who you are. You will begin to doubt it yourself. And you will no longer be considered a prophet because you doubt what the Most High has blessed you with. So the Most High just may stop giving you those gifts of prophecy. So let's see. Read on, please.
Verse 9. And Hathach came and told Esther the words of Mordecai. Again Esther spoke unto Hathach, and gave him commandment unto Mordecai, saying, all the king's servants and all the people of the king's provinces do know that whoever, whether man or woman, shall come unto the king into the inner court, who is not called, there is one law of his to put him to death, except such to whom the king shall hold over or hold out the golden scepter, that he may live. But I have not been called to come in unto the king these 30 days.
She understood that. Read on, please.
Verse 12. Then Mordecai commanded to Esther. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house.
Do you see what Mordecai said?
Mm-hmm.
Mordecai said, stop thinking about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Stop thinking about yourself. So many people talk about their leaders of the people, prophets of the people, servants of the people. And the only thing they're worried about is things that benefit themselves. Too many of us don't make the sacrifice for the people as we should. We have to understand that it's greater than us. It's not even about us, it's about the people. Make that sacrifice for the people of the Almighty and not yourself. If we can ever get out of self, a lot of us getting money. We think it's our money. We think it's for us. But a lot of times most of the time, the Most High is giving you that wealth so that you will utilize that to better the condition of your people, to prepare a place for your people. But when you don't have the understanding or the knowledge of that, you do, and you move selfishly, like Esther did. Esther at this time did not know that the Most High was using her, that he put her in place for a time like this. She didn't understand that. Do you understand where you are in your life right now, how the Most High is using you? How the Most High put you in place with that school that you work in? You have access to a lot of people that really want to know about the Creator. That job that you work on, you have access to people who are friends and gravitate and take to you. Do you talk to them about the Almighty? I'm not saying put yourself in position so you can get fired. I'm saying people who gravitate to you and consider you to be a friend. Do you do that when the Most High gives you those opportunities? Do you take full advantage of it? Read on, please.
Verse 13. Then Mordecai commanded to answer Esther, think not with thyself that thou shalt escape in the king's house more than all the Hebrews.
He said, don't think you're going to get away because you're in the castle.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be selfish with this. And don't think for a minute that you're going to escape because you're living in the king's house and you're the queen. Think not of yourself. That's what the condition of a lot of our people. We get a couple dollars and we think we cool. We think we set up. And all we trying to build up is build up for ourselves. So our name will go in history as being great. Read on, please.
Verse 14. For if thou altogether holdest thy peace at this time, then shall their relief and deliverance arise to the Hebrews from another place. But thou and thy father's house shall be destroyed, and all who knoweth whether thou art come to the kingdom for such a time as this.
Whoa! Mordecai recognized
Mm-hmm.
when you're being used by the Most High. He understood her position. He understood his as well. And he counseled her to understand that the Most High is using you for this particular purpose, on this particular day, at this particular time. Vashti's heart was hardened because the Most High hardened Vashti's heart to make way for Esther for this day and time. Do y'all understand? Read on, please. Don't always think because something look negative or evil or wicked, don't always think that that's what it is. Judge it at the outcome. Read on, please.
Verse 15. Then Esther told them to return Mordecai this answer. Go, gather together all the Hebrews who are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days.
Wow.
Not day.
The power of prayer. You see what she said? She said, I got a problem. She said, I'm willing to go do this. I hear you, cousin Mordecai. I hear you because you're the strong spiritual leader of our household. I accept what you say. All I request of you is that you get all of our people together. Bang. Get all of our people together that they can fast for 3 days. Don't let them eat. Don't let them drink. For 3 days, petition the Creator on my behalf that I will be successful. Now, what made her do that? What made her be that spiritually inclined that she knew how to gather her strength? Do y'all see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When you find out and recognize that the Most High is using you, You got to gather your strength and put all your energy into that place that the Most High is using you for. Do y'all understand me? She finally came to the point right now at this time where she recognized that the Most High was using her. Now a light just went off in her head. Read on, please, and let's see the type of energy that she places. She was willing to put her life on the line, but she wouldn't do it without our support, without our unification, without our prayers going up and addressing the Almighty. Read on, please.
Verse 16. I, also my maidens, will fast likewise, and so will I go unto the king, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish.
If I perish, I perish. You boy, you talk about an excellent spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about an excellence. You talk about somebody going out of their way to go over and beyond for the king and for his people. That's true leadership. She was worthy to be the queen. She was willing to risk her life for the sake of her people. She was willing to risk her life for the sake of her people. If I perish, then I perish. But this has to be done. Read on, please.
Verse 17. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. Reading from the book of Esther or Hadassah, chapter 5, verse 1.
Now, Esther went into her prayer chamber. She fasted for 3 days. She went to the Most High. The Most High visited her. He gave her an ideal. He gave her understanding, and she did what the Most High gave her. Watch what happens. Read on, please. Oh, where'd she go? She'll probably be right back. Where'd she go? She got booted. All right, go ahead, Iman. You can take it over. 5 and 1.
Esther, Hadassah, chapter 5, verse 1. Now it came to pass on the third day that Esther put on her royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the king's house.
Now, what did she do?
She put on her crown.
Why? Because she needs something from the king. She getting ready to go before her husband. So what did she do? She put on a pair of boxing shorts. She put on basketball shorts. She put on baseball pants and a t-shirt. She had her hair all over the place. What did she do? She got looking good. She was already looking good because she was the queen. She got looking better. And she put on her royal crown. She said, I want you to remember who I am. Watch what happens. Read on, please.
And stood in the inner court of the king's house, over against the king's house. Over against the king's house. And the king sat upon his royal throne in the royal house, over against the entrance of the house. And it was so, when the king saw Esther, Hadassah, the queen, standing in the court, that she obtained favor in his sight. And the king held out to Esther the golden scepter that was in his hand. So Esther drew near and touched the top of the scepter.
So Esther drew near and she touched the top of the scepter. She was looking good. She was looking spiffy. She was smelling good. Her skin was real soft. Her feet wasn't crusty. She didn't have all that ash around her ankles at the bottom of her feet because she wearing flip-flops, which keep the bottom of your feet dirty. Come on, y'all. Ain't no queen, ain't no princess, ain't no woman got any business wearing anything that's going to keep her feet dirty. Believe me, men don't like that. Some men don't care because they nasty anyway. But a real man, he gonna give you some lotion. He probably just slide you a bottle of lotion as a Christmas present. You come to your door at Christmas time and he got a box of oil wrapped up in a box. He don't even do Christmas, but he gonna give you something and slide it in your door, and that's what you're gonna get. You're like, where did this come from? I don't know where this came from. It's gonna be a box of oil with a ribbon on it for your feet. Wise man. She ain't walk barefooted. So let's go on. Sister Ornette is back now and again. All right, Sister Ornette.
Okay. Verse 3. Then said the king unto her, What wilt thou, Queen Esther? And what is thy request? It shall be even given to thee to half of the kingdom.
You see how much he was in love with her? But she earned the right for him to say something like that to her. She earned it because she was a hell of a woman and one hell of a queen. He said, ask me what you will, up to half the kingdom, and I promise you it's yours. She ain't had to divorce him to get paid. All she had to do was open her mouth and ask, and she would have got paid. Well, I need some more land over there on the south side. I need all this. He said, whatever it is, ask of me. And watch what she does. She has the ability at this moment to kill everything. But watch how she approaches the situation. This, remember, this came to her after fasting, prayer, and meditation for 3 days. For 3 days. And watch how we went. Read on, please.
Verse 4. And Esther answered, If it seem good unto the king, let the king and Haman come this day unto the banquet that I have prepared for him. Then the king said, Cause Haman to make haste, that he may do as Esther has said. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared. And the king said unto Esther at the banquet of wine, What is thy petition? And what it shall be granted, Slika, and it shall be granted thee. And what is thy request? Even to half of the kingdom, it shall be performed.
Here again, she has another opportunity to get up to half of his kingdom. And all she had to do was say, I would like half of the kingdom. She would have got it. But she ain't thinking about her. She's thinking about her people. She's on a mission. She ain't losing focus. Yes?
They said that the king was drinking wine.
The king was drinking wine?
Yes,
Okay.
he said. But then he said, like,
It's not good for a king to drink wine. That's right. Read on, please. In good memory. Read on, please.
Verse 7. Then answered Esther,
Yeah,
my
hold
petition.
up a second. Ames said she was glowing after the fast, too. She was looking good. She was looking extra vibrant. And she went into her husband looking good and smelling good after that fast, and he couldn't resist. Read on, please.
Verse 7. Then answered Esther, my petition and my request is,
If I have found favor, keep on, sis.
If I have found favor in the sight of the king, and if it please the king to grant my petition, and to perform my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet that I shall prepare for them. And I will do tomorrow as the king has said.
Wow. She said, just one more time. Tomorrow, y'all come back. Come. You and Haman, bring Haman with you. And then y'all come to my place and my residence. And then tomorrow I'll let you know what's in my heart. Read on, please.
Verse 9. Then went Haman forth that day joyful, with a
Haman.
glad heart.
Haman liked them showing him honor. Haman in his mind trying to see what the queen is about to do to blow him up, to make him fat again. That's what Haman thinking about. Read on, please.
But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up, nor trembled before him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai.
So Mordecai done pissed him off again. Mordecai done bust his bubble. Haman's head was exploded, was so big until he saw Mordecai. And all he did was let his emotions, and that's what women do. Women are emotional. Haman is displaying womanly traits. Mordecai ain't displaying no womanly traits. He's standing on principle. And his principle is that I don't prostrate myself to no man, only the Creator. It's deep. Read on, please.
Verse 10. Nevertheless, Haman restrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends, and Zeresh his wife. And Haman told them of the glory of his riches, and the multitude of his children, and all the things in which the king had promoted him, and how he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king.
So
Haman said,
he's bragging about his own possessions. He's bragging about what he's achieved and what he's accomplished. He's bragging to all the other people about his riches and all his wives and all his children. He's bragging. And read on, please.
Verse 12. Haman said, Moreover, yea, Esther the queen did let no man come in with the king unto the banquet that she had prepared, but myself. And tomorrow I am invited unto her also with the king. Yet all this availeth me nothing, as long as I see Mordecai, the Hebrew, sitting at the king's gate.
Now, that word, the Hebrew, as she read, is actually, you see at the bottom of the screen, Yehudi. It's Yehudi. I see Mordecai, the Yehudite, or Yehudi, sitting at the king's gate. Read on, please.
Verse 14. Then said Zeresh his wife, and all his friends unto him, Let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high. And tomorrow speak thou unto the king, that Mordecai may be hanged on it. Then go thou merrily with the king unto the banquet. And this thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made.
So what's happening now? This thing, gallows are being made where they can hang Mordecai by his neck on this big gallows so everybody can see it. Evil act, right? But it's not evil. It's a righteous act. It just has the appearance of being evil because those gallows ain't going to be made for Mordecai. Read on, please.
Reading from the book of Esther.
He got one thing in his mind, the death of Mordecai, but something totally different is about to take place.
Reading from the book of Esther, or Hadassah, chapter 6, verse 1. On that night could not the king sleep, and he commanded to be brought the book of records of the chronicles, that they were read before the king. And it was found written that Mordecai had told of Bigthana, and Teresh, two of the king's chamberlains.
I'm going to let that go. Big thong. But I'm going to let that go. He had a big thong and he had Terex. But I'm going to let it go. Bigthana. Yeah. Bigthana. Go ahead. And Teresh, two of the king's eunuchs who guarded the threshold and who have sought to lay hold or hands on the king Ahasuerus.
Verse 3. And the king said, What honor and dignity had been bestowed upon Mordecai for this?
You see what's happening? See how the Most High works?
Mm-hmm.
See how the Most High works? He caused them to remember Mordecai at the right time. At the right time, he caused the remembrance of Mordecai to come into his mind. All right, family. We got 5 minutes to 7 o'clock. Y'all know y'all like to quit at 7. Y'all got to tell me if y'all going to keep going or we're going to shut this down until next week.
King of Mordecai did in the beginning that the king had forgotten about?
He saved his life. He snitched on those 2 men that was trying to kill the king. They was preparing to kill the king, and Mordecai went and snitched. Mordecai said, yo, tell the queen Esther that these 2 men by the gate is plotting to kill the king. She told. And the king researched it and found out that it was true. And the king had them 2 killed. But he never did anything to Mordecai at that time. Until now, he's thinking about he looked through the Chronicles. He said, Mordecai did this. How did I reward Mordecai for what he did? Oh, man, at the right time. Because Mordecai was getting ready to see destruction because those men, Haman and his men, hated him and his wife. Read on, please.
Then said the king's servant, who ministered unto him, there has nothing been done for him. And the king said, who is in the court? Now Haman was come into the outer court of the king's house to speak unto the king to hang Mordecai on the gallows that he had prepared for him.
So Haman coming to the king now. In his mind, he coming to the king with something that he want to talk to the king about. But the king is already pondering. See, the Most High hand is in all this. Who's in the court that I can talk to because I got something that I want to do? But he ain't telling what he want to do yet. So watch how this plays out. Read on, please.
Verse 5. And the king's servant said unto him, behold, Haman standeth in the court. And the king said, let him come in. So Haman came in. And the king said unto him, what shall be done for the man whom the king delighteth to honor? Now Haman thought in his heart, to whom would the king delighteth to do honor more than himself?
See, Haman's head is on him. Yes. You got a question? What's your question?
I wanted to ask, who was Haman to the king?
He was one of his princes, one of his right-hand men. All right. Very good. Good question, by the way. Come up here and interrupt the flow, didn't he? He interrupted the flow. He was getting it in. He talking about who was Haman to the king.
Just now.
Because he's just waking up. That's what it is. Man, I was back here. I was up here watching. Your eyes was going. You ever seen somebody drunk from sleep? You ever see their eyes droop because they sleepy? He always in the back droop. He talking about who was Haman to the king. We've been reading about Haman all day. He's supposed to know that, but he didn't. But it's okay. It's all right. Good question. Great question. Keep them up. So Haman come in with his big head. His head is huge. He said, dang, the king favoring me. The king trying to hook me up. And watch what takes place. Read on, please.
Verse 7. And Haman answered the king, for the man whom the king delighteth to honor, let the royal apparel be brought, which the king is accustomed to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon.
You see, this shows you, I'm sorry, sis, but this gives you a little insight of Haman's desire and passion. Haman really want to be king. He really wants to be king. And you got to watch those people that you got close to you, because a lot of them really want your position. A lot of them really want to be you, but don't want to be you and don't want you to be great. They want to take your place. They want to usurp your throne, a lot of them, because they're jealous, envious of you. And if you're a man that's getting it, there's a lot of reason why they would be. But it's hard to really trust people. It's so hard because a lot of people that ain't got it, if you got it or they think you got it, they're trying to find a way that they can get it and take it from you. He said then he wanted his wife. Haman is a hater. Read on, please. Yeah, he was covering real hard. The kingdom. Read on, please.
Verse 8. Let the royal apparel be brought which the king is accustomed to wear, and the horse that the king rideth upon, and the crown royal which is set upon his head. And let this apparel and horse be delivered to the hand of one of the king's most noble princes, that they may array the man whom the king delighteth to honor, and bring him on horseback through the streets of the city, and proclaim before him, thus shall it be done for the man whom the king delighteth to honor. Then the king said to Haman, make haste, and take the apparel and the horse, as thou hast said, and do even so for Mordecai the Hebrew, who
Wow.
sits at the king's gate.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine what Mordecai, what Haman felt at that moment? He was so embarrassed that the man who don't honor him, he now has to honor. You see how the Most High does what the Most High do? You see how he puts you in position, those who hate you, they have to serve you? See how the Most High does what he do? From your obedience and your loyalty to this king. So go ahead, let's finish this part out.
Let nothing fail of all that thou hast spoken. Verse 11. Then took Haman the apparel and the horse, and arrayed Mordecai, and brought him on horseback throughout the street of the city, and proclaimed before him, Thus shall it be done for the man whom the king delighteth to honor.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Sis, where'd you stop at? 12, right?
Okay.
All right. So we're going to pick up on 12 next week. It's now 7 o'clock. Let's go to the questions and answers. Are there any questions, any comments? Yes. You want to turn your mic on or you want to come up?
Were you talking? Go ahead. Oh, I think he was talking. Okay. Well, no, actually, the book of Hadassah, the book of Esther, is one of my favorite books. When I first came in this way of life and I read that book, I was just like, yo, it wasn't even just her, I didn't understand the spiritual part of it, of course, when I first came in, but just her willingness to do what her cousin told her to do. And then the way that the king adored her. And, even, of course, you watch the movie, you read it, there's a lot of differences in the book. In the movie, of course, they glorify things a little differently. But when you read it, you just really gain respect for her. Like, that was my first time really understanding what fasting can do for you and for your people. And she's one of those women who, when I think about the sacrifice she's made in the Tanakh, that's who I look for. Like, I look at that, and when I fast a lot, I think about her and how she fasted for the people and what came out of that. And so whenever I fast, I try to hone in on that energy that she used and, try to discover how important it was and to remember how important it was to stay on that fast. And like Mordecai told her, don't be selfish. It's not about you. Dig deeper. He basically told her, dig deeper inside of you. It's not about you and your relationship with the king. This is about you and saving your people. And like I said, it's just one of my favorites because it just showed, even with the enemy and everything he planned against our people, the Most High didn't let it stand. And it's great because every time I watch it, even now when I watch it or read it, I just tear up. I get because it's just there. You could just be right there in it and feel all of it. And so yeah, I love this book.
May the Most High be praised. May the Most High be. Very good example. Explanation. Yes.
Isn't it?
Come up.
It's a good statement. Isn't it like the saying, no evil formed against me shall prosper?
That's right.
And 10,000 shall fall to your left and 10,000 shall fall to your right.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what it means. May the Most High be praised. Total Rabbah. Any other questions or comments, family? Go ahead, Abba. You got the floor.
Torah. And so likely for my tardiness, I had a matter to attend to. But one of the key takeaways that I see, a great presentation, by the way, Prince, is that two things that I noticed that stood out. was that before Hadassah would approach the king, she went in her royal garb. And when it was asked what should be done to the person who all these things occurred, the first thing that he asked for is that the garb that the king would wear, his royal steed, and all these different things. So there's a Latin term and a legal term that says in appropriate persona. So when Hadassah went before the king, she went in her proper person. That's what it means. So she went in her proper legal status because she had to approach him a certain way. She just couldn't approach him any type of way. And then when old Low Down Dirty, when he went, he wanted to be adorned in the attire of the king. He wanted to be in that persona. But there's a saying that basically the gist of the saying is, I can't recall it exactly, but there you may get favor or curry favor to get in a position, but it takes character to keep you in that position. And so therefore her character is shown through and when she approached the king, but again, when she realized and acknowledged her purpose, and her uncle was there to also to help her realize her purpose. And so it's another keynote that there are many people along the way that will help us realize and help us move into our purpose, and to know that when the creator is using us. But when your character is rotten and low down and dirty, you could get the position all day long. And when, as they say, whenever you dig a grave for one, you better be ready to dig one for yourself. And he got his just rewards. So again, that was a great presentation. And so again, people want to be an appropriate persona in our proper person. The only proper person that we could be in is walk lawfully up before our king, adorn ourselves away with humility, with grace, and with fear and trembling, because our Most High is a great king. So therefore, we need to be careful of how we approach him and watch how we approach him. Then he can use us, because then our true character will show forth. And again, great presentation, and I yield.
Sister Saadia's comment says, fantastic lesson as always. Keep up the extraordinary work and lessons that you bring forth. I am learning and implementing so much. May the Most High continue to be with you all, bless you all, and protect you all.
May both sides be praised. Both sides be praised. All right. Anyone else? Any other questions or comments, family? Sister Ornette, would you like to speak? Okay, go ahead.
So this is actually one of my first times really diving deep into the book of Esther and the story of Esther or Hadassah. And I want to land me back a little bit off of what's already been said, especially what Matthias just said when it comes to well, first, when it comes down to Haman, he was one of the princes of the king. He was one of the right-hand men, but he was very arrogant. His spirit seemed to never be. It's like he wanted this vain glory. Like he desired for people to look at him as if he was the king. Yeah, you're a branch of the king, but he wanted, in his mind, in his heart, when he went home and he was bragging to his family and bragging to the people around him, he did that to build his self-esteem, because, when the second or third time that Mordecai did not bow to him, his self-esteem dropped, So he went home and tried to brag everybody around him to try to build his self-esteem up. So he was very arrogant, very prideful, and very egotistical. But what stood out to me about Mordecai is that, everything that Mordecai done, he did not do it to be seen, Even him protecting the king, he was just being righteous, Yeah, he was just being righteous. And so he didn't even know that there was a reward in the end for the things that he was doing, for the righteousness and the integrity that he was carrying, within himself. He had no idea. And so it just goes to show you that, as long as you remain solid in the righteousness of the Creator, you don't know what he's protecting you from, what blessings he has on the way for you, just know that, you know, by you staying firm, staying focused, continuing to be righteous, walking in that integrity at all times, the Creator sees all things. He's going to always see what you're doing. He's going to always see what other people are trying to do. And then lastly, I think it's very important to understand, and I didn't see it this deeply, but understand when the Creator is using you. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're all being used by the Creator for some way, some shape, and in some form. You know, and so when you're able to recognize that, you're able to use, you're able to do your job more diligently. You know what I mean? Even when it comes down to Hadassah, her understanding that the Creator was using her, her going into her fast and her being, you know, steadfast in what she was doing, you know, it all played a part in the redemption or in the children of Israel, you know, being saved to a certain extent. Now we haven't finished it. I'm gonna go back and finish it myself, which I wish I could finish it, but I'm gonna go back and finish the story. But those are my comments so far. So they were very powerful.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. May the Most High be praised. Are there any other questions or comments? There was a lot. Come on up.
Also, I would like to elaborate on what Abba said about how even evil things or what can be perceived as evil can be used for the betterment of like something good. It's a quote that says, all things come together for good. So even those type of things can be worked or being used for the good of the Most High. And so that something good comes out of it. That's it.
All right. May the Most High be praised. All things come together for good. Okay. All right. Yes? Good.
All right. Zaklina Tahari says definitely a favorite chapter. Toda Rabbah. Nasi says all praises to the Most High, created first and foremost. Second, Shalom, happy Shabbat. Mary, I appreciate the teachings and your jokes to make us laugh. Would you mind reading my positive statements? And Sister Anita says this story was a good example of the Psalms 23 verse where the Creator said that He will hear you able in the presence of your enemies. And Keith says this story is a epitome of the laws of karma and work.
Read on.
All right. Nasi read says all praises to the Most High, the Creator, first and foremost. Second, Shalom, happy Shabbat. Any sisters in Israel that are truly good sisters should be righteous, like Sister Esther. He also said things we should not eat: pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, eggs, cow milk, everything white, like white sugars. He also says, Moray, earlier you said you like telling jokes to make us laugh. That's good because laughter is a good form of therapy. He also said, if 1/3 of righteous Israel all united right now, then we rule this world righteously. And then he says, if an evil man attacked me and my Israelite wife, he got to get broke up. Simple as that.
All right. You go, guys. Are you good? You got some more. May the Most High be praised. If an evil man attack me and my wife, he get broke up automatically. There you go. And that's the way you got to see it. All right. Are there any other questions or comments, family? Or need? Yeah, you do got some there, in fact. Oh, no, you might have. Okay, very good. All right, family. we're gonna call it a night. Does anyone on the panel, Sister Anit, did you have a comment? Ima, did you have a comment? Abba, you already spoke. Did you want to speak again? I just want to get it all out before we close this page out.
No, we got to say the
Ben, you got that?
Do you want me to announce the holiday stuff?
Okay. Do it before. Do it now.
Shabbat Shalom, family. I just wanted to make sure I remind you all of the upcoming holidays starting in September, or what's that? The month of, yeah, what's the month of, I know, but yeah. Kitanim. The month of Kitanim, Kitanim. We are doing September the 5th from the dates, as long as the moon is sighted, it will be September the 5th is Yom Teruah, 4th at sunset, all day the 5th. Yom Teruah is not a feast day, but we will prepare food the day before because we are not to cook on that day. And we will eat and have service here on the land. And then September the 14th is, that means the evening of the 13th, all day the 14th. So the 14th is Yom Kippur. If we're incorrect, we will address it. But it's Yom Kippur or Yom Kippurim, and we will, of course, keep that holy day, which we all know is a Shabbat Shabbaton. That means complete rest, no kindling fire, no cooking, no preparing, and fasting. We fast. I know everybody does not do that, but we fast from sundown to sundown. So we will do that, and we will be in the Knesset on the land. And then Sukkot begins September the 19th, and it ends on the 25th. And then the last day of that season is, oh my gosh, I can't think. The 26th, the 8th day. The 8th day, Shemini Atzeret. Shemini Atzeret is the 26th. Shemini Atzeret is not a feast day, but we're coming out of Sukkot, so we will have food, of course, and we'll prepare food the day before. It is a Shabbat day. And so we invite all of those who would like to get more information. You can direct message Maish if you are a brother, a man. You can direct message Maish or Nasik Shema. And if you are a sister, you can direct message myself or Nasika Amuna, and we will get you all the information. If you would like to even attend here on the land with us, please let us know ahead of time so we can have preparations for you and, go through that. But I think that's it for the holy days. Toda rabah.
Now, keep in mind, everyone, that she went from memory, and we believe that with the best of accuracy that those are the correct dates, providing that the moon is seen on the night of the 4th. So may the Most High be praised, and thank you, everyone, for being a part of our family here on our online family, Beulah Land at Temple Kifarim. Thank you for the time that you have spent with us. Thank you for the blessings. But before we close out, we're going to do a prayer, and then we're going to close out respectfully. All right? Can we all rise, please, and face the east?
Hallelujah. 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 Most High Abba, first and foremost, we ask for permission to approach into your throne. Most High Creator, we say Todah. Todah for life, health, and strength. Todah for the Shabbat day. Todah for bringing us together one more time in unity, peace, love, righteousness. Abba, we ask it on today that we have all soaking up the things that you have given us through both classes, that you continue to build us up as a nation and people. Allow us to take from these lessons, Abba, the things that we need to sharpen ourselves, the things that we need to become more righteous and more blameless, more spotless in your sight. Continue to give us an understanding that we may be able to be an example to the rest of the world, to the rest of the nations. Continue to give us the strength, the understanding, and to just be that living sacrifice to you, that we give our all to you, that we go overboard and we do more than what is required of us to do, that we prove ourselves worthy of your throne, your majesty, your glory, the things that you have already promised us and promised our forefather Abraham. We ask that you continue to just build us up as a nation. Continue to remove the things that keep us from you. Continue to remove the things within us that keep us in our lower estate. So, Abba, we ask it on today. You continue to bless us, increase us in knowledge, portions of your wisdom, in humility, integrity, honor, all the things, Most High, that bring us closer to you. Forgive us for our transgressions, but forgive us for the things that we have done, our shortcomings, the things that we've done knowingly, unknowingly. Continue to give us your mercy and grace, as long as we continue to give you all of us, wholeheartedly. We thank you for the family that you are creating. We thank you for the family and the bonds. And here at Uterland, we thank you for this community. We thank you for the souls that feel led to come and be a part of what you are doing here. Continue to build each of us individually, that when you see us as a whole, as a community, as a body, that you are pleased with us and our spirits and our essence and our being. Continue to watch over us. Continue to protect us. Continue to give us insight on how to move, how to serve you properly. We'll continue to give your name all praise, honor, and glory. We ask all these things in humility. And we say, Toda Rabah, Toda Selah, Hallelujah.
All right. May the Most High be praised. Toda Rabbah. Thank you, family. Thank you, everyone, for coming out and spending your Shabbat day with us. May the Most High give you blessings upon blessings upon blessings for you and your family. May the Most High be praised. Shabbat Shalom, Lakim.
Shabbat shalom.